Sometimes people talk about losing someone like it's a single moment. Like, there's a day when it happens, you cry, time passes, and then you just move on. But that's not what it's really like. Losing the most important person in your life isn't one moment. It's all the tiny moments that follow. It's waking up in the morning and for half a second forgetting that they're gone, and then remembering. It's the reaching for your phone to text them something small that happened during the day, and realizing that there's no one to send it to anymore. And the strangest part is that the world just keeps moving. Cars are still gonna drive by your house. People are still gonna laugh in the restaurants. The sun still comes up every morning like nothing happened. But your world feels like it stopped. It's like everyone else is doing the same thing they've always been doing, but somehow you just completely lost your way. And people always tell you things like you're better off without them, or that time heals everything, and they probably mean well, but those words don't really touch the part of the pain that matters. Because the hardest thing isn't just that they're gone, it's that they were part of who you were. Your jokes made sense because they were there to laugh at them. Your stories felt always complete because they were there to hear them. Even the moments where it was just quiet, those mattered because they were there to understand them with you. And when that person is gone, it feels like a piece of your own identity disappears too. You start realizing how many things in your life were connected to them. Songs you listened to, places you went to, inside jokes, restaurants, streets, even sometimes the time of day. Maybe it's the hour you used to talk to them every night, or the moment when something funny happens and you immediately think, I need to tell them about this. And then you remember that the person who used to understand those little moments with you just isn't there anymore. And grief is strange like that. It doesn't always show up as a loud or crying, dramatic sadness. Sometimes it's just the quiet weight that follows you around. You can be sitting in a room full of people and still feel like something or someone important is missing. And sometimes that pain appears in the most random moments, like hearing a song that you forgot they loved, or seeing something in a store you know they would have pointed out, or remembering a conversation you had years ago that suddenly feels more important than it did back then. And the worst part about it is realizing that memories are all you have left. You can't make new ones anymore. Every laugh, every conversation, every moment you ever had with them, those are the final versions. There won't be another. And that realization hits harder than people expect. Because when someone is there, we assume there will always be more time with them. More conversations, more visits, more hangouts, more chances to say things that we never said before. But when they're gone, time becomes something you suddenly understand differently. You start wishing that you had paid more attention to the small moments, the normal ones, the random conversations, the quiet days that didn't seem important at all at the time. Because those were the moments that made up their relationship, not the big dramatic events, just the simple fact that they were there. And a lot of people think grief slowly disappears, like it just fades away with time. But for most people, it doesn't really disappear. It just changes its form. Like, it'll feel like a storm at first, where everything hurts all the time, and then slowly it'll get better, it'll calm down, the storm will start to feel like waves, and then suddenly something so small will bring everything back again. Like a certain smell, or a place, or a memory, and that's when it feels like a storm again. The waves hit when you weren't expecting it, but over time you learn something strange, and that is that the pain you're feeling is proof of how real the love was. You don't really grieve someone deeply unless they truly mattered, unless they left a huge imprint all over your life, or unless they change you in a way that can't be undone. So the pain stays. Not always as sharp as the beginning, but it lingers. Like their echo is there filling the room. And maybe the goal isn't to stop feeling that pain completely. Maybe your goal is to try to carry it, or learn how to live with it, or let it remind you that once in this world, you found someone who meant everything to you. Someone who made those ordinary moments feel important, or someone who made you feel understood in a way that's so hard to explain. And even though they're gone now, the fact that they existed in your life at all is something that can't ever be taken away. Because people don't completely disappear. They live on in the way you think, the way you speak, the habits you picked up from them without them knowing. They're in your story. They're in the advice that you repeat. They're in the memories that randomly appear years later and make you smile for a second before the sadness comes back. And that's the quiet truth about losing someone. They leave your world, but they never fully leave you. Part of them stays behind, woven into the person you became because they were there. And in a strange way, that means the love you had for them never actually ended. It just changed its form.